set. Yes, K now impressed.
Hi guys, long time no talk. Last time I made a video was in December and I was doing Vlogmas, which was a complete bust. I was working 5 days out of the week, so I only had 2 days off, so it was a lot of me like just driving to and from work, which was pretty boring. And then I also lost my battery, so I just kind of stopped filming because I didn't have a battery. But ordered a new battery finally, and I thought it would be cool to start off 2018 with my 2017 favorites. So if you were interested in my 2017 beauty favorites, just continue watching. And I'm just gonna jump right into it because there's a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna start off with face and then kind of do it in the order that I would normally kind of do my makeup. And yeah, so my all-time favorite primer would be the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer. This guy right here, what's really cool about it is that you can use it as skincare as well, so you can use it morning and night. It really just helps brightens the skin, adds some luminosity. It also has anti-aging properties in it, and it also, I don't know if I said this already, but it just smooths out like pores and minimizes your pores, and like it just makes things smooth. And I love this stuff, and it was really hard for me to try other primers, and I would always just come back to this guy. But there are 2 other primers that actually kind of broke me away from this guy. The other primer, I didn't think I would like this one as much as I did. It was the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Pro Filter Primer. So I would use this under like tinted moisturizers and foundations that were a little bit more dewy or luminous, just to kind of keep things a little bit more, I feel like this was more like matte, if that makes sense, but it had like this lotion texture to it. It smells really good, but like that's just kind of how the combination that I like to do my primer. So if I'm doing like a matte foundation, I like to use a dewy or like something hydrating, something that's gonna add luminosity with that foundation. And then if I'm using like a dewy foundation, then I kind of want to try like a primer that's gonna kind of be more matte, if that makes sense. So I kind of do the opposite. That's just how I like to do it. And then the other primer that I really liked was the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And then I would use this one with more matte foundations. So yeah, but my all-time favorite is the Jane Iredale Smooth Affair Primer. I can't get enough of it. Foundations. The only foundation that really stood out to me for 2017 was the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Pro Filter Longwear Foundation. I was really hesitant about trying this at first just because I have more normal to dry skin, so whenever I use like a matte foundation, things tend to look kind of cakey and just dry on me. And so when I tried this out, it didn't look dry at all. It just looked super smooth. It just looked so beautiful on the skin, and I would get compliments whenever I'd wear this guy. And so with this, I would either pair my Smooth Affair Primer or the Becca one with this guy. But it just looks so pretty. Lasts all day long. When I would go to, like for work and I wanted more coverage or I wanted something to last a little bit longer, this is the guy that I would go to. But now I feel like it's a little too dark for me, so yeah. And then like for other occasions or just for more day-to-day, I was really into like the very natural and dewy look. And so I was using the Tinted Moisturizer by Laura Mercier. It has SPF of 20 in it. This guy right here. I liked how it was kind of like, it just looked very natural and pretty on the skin. Not a lot of coverage, but it's a tinted moisturizer, so it's not supposed to be a lot of coverage. It's just supposed to even out your skin tone a little bit. But it didn't break me out, so that's why I really like this. But then when I discovered the Bobbi Brown Tinted Moisturizing Balm, it has an SPF 25. I love this stuff. I haven't touched my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer since I've gotten this guy. A little bit of this goes a long ways. It's pretty thick in consistency, but if you just warm it up in your hands and just rub it all over your face, I feel like that's how you get the most out of it. It has a little bit more coverage than the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, which I found kind of surprising for a tinted moisturizer. I have some redness in my cheeks, but I felt like it kind of covered that up pretty well. It didn't cover it up completely, but better than the Laura Mercier, so it kind of surprised me there. And Yes, babe.
I gotta go poo-poo.
You gotta go poo-poo?
I gotta
Okay.
go poo-poo.
Pause. How it just adds such a pretty glow to the skin, and it just feels lightweight, super hydrating, so love this stuff. And then, yeah. So, next what I would do I typically like to use a corrector for underneath the eyes. So I felt like before I used a corrector, a lot of the times throughout the day, like my dark circles would peek through, but when I started using this, it doesn't happen. So this is another product by Jane Iredale. It's their Enlighten 1 corrector. So basically it has an orange tint to it, but that's what really helps covers up any blues or purples basically just covers up any blues and purples. And so you would just put it where you need it. So it's typically like the inner corner, and then sometimes you just keep it close to the lash line, or just really only put it where you might have blue or purple underneath the eyes, and then you would cover that with a concealer. So my all-time favorite concealer, nothing can beat this concealer for me right now, is the Tarte Shape Tape. I feel like this has been everyone's favorite, but it's so good. It's full coverage, it doesn't really crease, it lasts all day long, and yeah. I'll use it underneath my eyes, in the T-zone, and then my chin, just to kind of highlight as well. But I love this concealer. And then the other concealer that I use is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, this guy right here, but I only use this to kind of carve out my eyebrows. So, my two favorite concealers, but I use them for two different things. So, yes. And then the next thing that I like to do, I love bronzers. So I have a few. Started out at the beginning of 2017, could not get me to stop using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Look at this. It just smells so good. It smells like chocolate. So mostly why it was my favorite, because I'm obsessed with chocolate, but I loved how it looked on the skin. And then I would sometimes pair it with my Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer. It adds this pretty like bronzy glow to the skin, but I would always use these two together. So I'd either use this like just to warm up the skin, and then this just like in the cheekbones, or this by itself at the time. And then when I kind of felt like changing it up, for a little while I was using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Matte Waterproof Bronzer in Hotel Airs. This guy right here. I took this when I went on a cruise with my family, but it just looked really pretty and bronzy, and it was waterproof and was swimming a lot and stuff. And so, yes, use this for a hot minute after those guys. And now, near the end of 2017, when Rihanna launched her line, I tried the Matchstick in Mocha, and I like to use this to cream contour, and then I'll kind of go over it with a powder. So the powder that I've been loving is the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and I'll use the bronze side, obviously. But this is what ended my 2017, this duo right here, basically. So I'm pretty extra. I would typically always use 3 products on my eyebrows. I would either use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade with the powder, and then I would finish it with the Glossier Boy Brow, but I don't have that, so I'll insert a photo right here. But those were like my go-to. If I didn't have as much time, I was really liking the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. And then sometimes I would either just use this with the boy brow, or I'd do this, the powder, and then the boy brow. So those were like that's pretty much all I used the whole 2017. So if you're ever wondering what I use in my brows, literally those 3 things. So yes, I guess blush. So at the beginning of 2017, I was only using this blush, but the only thing is it only comes in this palette, I think, and it's by Smashbox, and it's the Art Love color palettes, and it's this color called Sunset. See, my friend Sarah got it for me for Christmas like a while ago. But it was this one here, and it made me so upset because I'm pretty sure they only like sold it in this palette, and so I can't get it. But this is like my favorite blush in the whole entire world. So I try not to use it as much now, so because if I run out, then I'm out of it and I'll be really sad and I'll cry. But I also really enjoyed the, holy crap. I also really like the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the color Exposed. Super pretty. It was just very subtle and natural, so if you wanted to like do like an intense eye, you could use this blush with it because it's very subtle, or if you're just going for that natural look, this blush is also really pretty because it's very subtle and natural looking and it's 12-hour long wearing. So there's that. But then cream blushes were kind of the thing for me for 2017. So I got this. It looks real gross, but I got it in an Ipsy bag basically, and it's by Seraphine Botanicals. It's the guava butter, and it's in pure guava. It smells so good. It literally smells like guava. But I like to just pop this on my cheeks, blend it out with my fingers, and then sometimes I would just use it on my lips too, which was really cool. That's what I like about cream blushes, because you can use them on your cheeks and your lips.
1 minute, 37 seconds later. Five minutes later.
And kills me. It literally kills me. Okay. Then, so I would bounce kind of between that cream blush and this cream blush, and this is by Bobbi Brown. It's the Pot Rouge Lips and Cheeks. This is the little mini guy that I got for, it's like a gift with purchase basically, but it's in the color Powder Peak. Super cute. Looks good on a lot of skin tones. Cool because you can use it on cheeks and lips too. So my two favorite cream blushes. That's kind of what I ended on using in 2017. Wow, I cannot talk for the life of me. But basically, to end 2017, I was just bouncing kind of between these two blushes. Super quick and easy to use too. So for setting powders, there's really only one that I loved more than anything. I tried to use one other thing, but I came back to this one because I just love it. I just love it. It's the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I would also use this on girls that I did like their makeups for homecoming and prom. Just really keeps things matte and in place, and I love it. And it doesn't typically have like that flashback. It kind of has like, it's not super white or translucent. It kind of has like this yellowish tint. And so what's cool about that is basically that's what's gonna help not have any flashback and really cut out any like runness in the skin. So that's cool. I'm trying to think. Eyeliner. So typically I kind of went away from liquid eyeliner this year. I really like to use shadows, but I'll kind of get into that in a minute. But for like liquid eyeliners or gel eyeliners or like the pencil ones, there was 3 that were my all-time favorites for 2017. For liquid, it was the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper Black, this guy right here. I like how the brush, like the tip is an actual brush and not a felt tip, because I felt like that was just a little bit more flexible, and I'm not a big fan of like felt tips for some reason. Just to me, I feel like they're not that easy to use. I personally just like to use a brush. I feel like I have a little bit more control. So going on with like using brushes, I really liked the Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner. This guy right here. This one is in Caviar Ink, but I liked it because I just like to use a brush when I do eyeliner. Like if I'm gonna do a wing, I just feel like I have more control over it personally. But this guy would just last me all day, wouldn't budge, super long wearing, love this stuff. And then for pencil, I was using a lot of pencils that I would just get in like an Ipsy bags or like kind of stuff like that, just things to test out. And there wasn't really one that kind of made me want to like repurchase or go back to, but this one, I feel like I'm a little biased, but I kid you not, it does not budge. So this is the Bobbi Brown Longwear Waterproof Liner. This is in black chocolate. I will put this in between my lashes. Literally it doesn't move. Like there's times where I'll like, if you just draw a line and then just let it sit for a minute, but then if you rub it, it's not gonna come off. Like you have to use makeup remover to get this off. But that's what I love about it, because you can put it in like your waterline underneath here, and like sometimes, like I know for some people, like even for myself, sometimes my eyes will get watery and then you like cry and then it just gets all everywhere and then just like defeats the purpose. But this stays put and I love it. I don't know, like I haven't repurchased like a twist up eyeliner in such a long time, but something about this one, you gotta try it. If you haven't tried it, you gotta try it. So highlighters, I have a few highlighters. I'm just gonna get started. So I am like there were days where I was like into like a super intense highlight, but majority of the time I really like that glow from within or just a very subtle highlight. And a lot of the times I would kind of pair my like powder highlights with the liquid highlight. So the liquid or like cream highlights that I was loving was one is by NYX, and it's the Away We Glow. And this is in the shade Moonbeam. Super pretty. I would just do a couple dots and then blend it with my finger with this guy and then go on top with a powder highlight that I was loving at the time. Or I would use the Jouer cream highlighter. I want to say this is champagne, but I can't remember because the bottom's completely gone. But I used this up. Love this one. So pretty. I would even use this one on my eyelids too, just kind of add that like wet look to the lids. But it's so pretty, and underneath, like paired with another highlight, so gorgeous. I'm trying to think. So powder highlights for 2017. I really liked the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Light. This guy right here. It's gonna be a very, 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 very subtle highlight. It's more of like a glow from within. Like even sometimes I would kind of use it as like a setting powder too. But I like how it's just very like natural and cute looking on the cheeks, the high points of the cheeks. The others that I were loving, I really liked the Exposed Highlight Amazonian Clay Highlight by Tarte. This guy right here.
298 frozen patties later.
Next highlight that I really liked was by Tarte. It was the Amazonian Clay Highlighter in Exposed Highlight. This stuff I was using non-stop when I first got it, and for a while. Like there's other highlighters that I have too, but this was one of the ones that I just kept grabbing. It was another like highlight that's a glow from within, but you could definitely build it up, which was really cool about it. And it smells like, it has like that chocolate smell, almost like the Chocolate Soleil bronzer by Too Faced, or like maybe it's vanilla. I don't know. It smells really good, and that's another reason why I really liked it. So yeah, love this one. And then there were times where I would kind of bounce between these two. So this is the Balm whatever this is called. I don't know. The Manizer Sisters. I didn't use these two. I mostly just used the Mary Luminizer, basically. Super pretty. It's kind of like a cult favorite. People talked about it, raved about it like a few years ago, but now there's like other highlights, and I just never got around to trying it until like 2017, and I loved it. So that one's really pretty too. You can make it super intense or it can be very subtle, but it's very everyday. So I liked that one a lot. Eyeshadows! So I'm going to start out talking about these guys. I probably started using them like halfway through 2017. But it's the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow 6. Sorry if you guys are annoyed with me talking about Bobbi Brown, but I tried a lot of Bobbi Brown this year. But so I have 3 right here. Love these so much. These guys do not budge. They do not crease. I have oily eyelids, and like when I would just wear eyeshadows, like I wasn't a huge fan of eye primers for some reason. Like they just didn't work for me, so I would just use like concealers to prime my eyelids. But Bobbi Brown Cream Shadow 6, shade Vanilla. It just really cancels out any redness or like discoloration in the eyelids and creates a blank canvas. So I would pair this with shadows. So they work really well with shadows too, but like say you're running late, you literally just do a couple stripes, blend it down with your finger, and you're ready to go. So quick, easy to use, last super long. They're supposed to be, I believe, 12-hour long wearing, and they don't budge. Like, there's times where I'll draw stripes and like I can't wash it off. Like, I literally have to scrub or get like makeup remover. Like, they do not come off with water. Like, so good. Love these guys. And then 3 palettes that I use for eyeshadows non-stop. First one being Modern Renaissance. And I have so many eyeshadow palettes. Like, I don't really typically need to repurchase a palette because I just don't go through my palettes fast enough. But this one, I think I accidentally threw away. Like, who throws away their palettes by accident? I don't know, but I did somehow, or it's somewhere, I just can't find it. Like, so I basically repurchased it because I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, it was something that I would, it's just something that I use all the time. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, look at those shades. You just, it's hard not to, like, I couldn't live without it. Like, I had to repurchase it. And I use this literally every single day. And I'll also reach for my Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It's kind of wonky, but love this palette so much, and it smells like peaches. But a lot of the times, like, I will use both of these on my eyes. So I'm typically, like, there's days where I'll just use this one, but if I use this one, like, I'm usually using this one. So love these palettes so much. They're my favorite. Like, it's all that I use in 2017. Minus this one. So the other palette that I was using like non-stop for a little while was the Morphe 350, but who wasn't using this palette? I mean, look at it. Can you tell? I like the warm shades. But super pretty, very affordable. Like, you get, like, the pigmentation in these palettes, like Morphe's palettes, are pretty good for the price that you pay. And look at all this that you get. So much. And I'm never gonna finish, like, I'm never gonna completely use this, but I love this palette. Super pretty, and I feel like if you're like traveling or something, I mean, obviously this is pretty honkin' big and you don't want to like actually travel with this, but like if I were to travel, not because I don't travel, this would be like the palette that I would take with me, because look at all these shades. Like, look at that. I literally have everything that you need. So last but not least, lip products. So 2017, there wasn't like a whole lot, like I wasn't really into the lipsticks at all really 2017. I just like, I would get annoyed because it's like you put it on, you look cute, but then you either eat it off, drink it off, it gets all crusty and breaks, like it just goes away. So I was like, I hate reapplying lipstick, so I was just like, so.
Mom.
But, yes, right. But chapstick wise, the Brazilian Kiss, $18, so it's kind of expensive, and I feel like you could get like a cocoa butter stick for cheaper at the drugstore, but love this. It smells super good, made my lips super soft and luscious and kissable and...
Here, Mom.
Oh, thank you, baby. I'll put it right there, okay? And moisturize, and so whenever I felt like my lips like were just like super... Yes?
Let me see. One more big thing.
I don't even know what I said at this point. I try to film videos when he's sleeping, and sometimes it just doesn't work. It doesn't work out that way. But yeah, basically I like to use this to hydrate my lips. Use it before I lipstick, and just all the time. It smells super good, and it's delicious, and my lips feel super soft and luscious and yada yada, all that good stuff, and I love it. Like, it's worth it. I honestly feel like it's worth it. So half the time I would just put a lipstick on at work just to kind of like have something on, but one of the ones that I liked and I felt like was super pretty just on like everyone, it's just like a pretty pink nude, would be the Bobbi Brown Sandwash Pink. And it's just like part of the regular lip color line. This is a little mini guy, but love this one. Super cute, super easy. It's just like, you don't even have to think about it. It's like just something pretty pink, basically. And then I have this on right now. It's the NYX Lingerie liquid lipsticks. I have a couple of them here, but if I were to wear something on my lips, like, it's typically one of these guys. Like, these all look literally the same, but they're just slightly different.
I'm here.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. And yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you which one I have on my lips right now because they all look kind of the same. I just kind of pick one up and I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then I put it on, I'm like, oh cool. And yeah, I like them because they're like creamy, but they don't feel super drying. And the door, that's probably, sorry. Okay. So, love these on the lips, and I'm gonna have to conclude this video. So those are my favorite beauty favorites for 2017 makeup product wise. Okay, come here. As you can see, Ryan's favorite thing ever was his Spider-Man costume. But yeah, if you guys want to see like my skincare favorites of 2017, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below and follow me on Instagram and be like, yo, make your skincare 2017 favorites. Okay, but please comment down below what you guys would like to see me do, and follow me on Instagram at meg_Oli.
Mom, please put me down.
See pictures of my face, his face, food, makeup, all that fun stuff. I'm trying to be more consistent this year, but I think I'm gonna focus mostly on Instagram first and then doing YouTube videos. So we'll just see how it goes, but main goal, being consistent. Say, be consistent.
Be consistent.
Good job. And say, subscribe for more videos.
Say more videos. Okay, bye.
Bye. See you in the next one.
Pound up, set.
Bye. You wanna close it?
Okay, now impressed. Kill him in that dress.